Alright, what up guys? gdoggcasey here, bringing you another StarCraft 2 matchup between me, the red Zerg in the top right corner, and my buddy Cernunnos is going to be the blue Protoss spawning in the bottom corner. And huge announcement, I have busted myself into the Silver Leagues, which is a huge deal for me. I know that a lot of people are like laughing at that, but honestly, I couldn't be happier. And I'm actually winning in the Silver League still. So it looks like I may be making a nice push into the Gold League, hopefully sometime within the next couple weeks or so. And anyway, let's talk about this game right here. My buddy Cernunnos is a Protoss player, and as you know if you've watched my last video, Protoss is my toughest matchup by far. I actually beat Zerg and Terran pretty easily so far. I don't even know if I've lost against either of them. Actually, I have lost against a Zerg, who he like 6-pooled me and I wasn't really ready for it. But anyways, Protoss is the one that actually significantly beats me a lot more often than any of the other races. So I've been working on my build against them. Actually, in the Silver Leagues, I've been facing a lot of Protoss. It's like Silver League is just Protoss or something like that. But which is good because it's given me that practice that I need. So we'll see here. I still haven't dropped any buildings yet. I am going to be going for a 15 hatch, which I mean, unless I'm going to get cannoned out, it still is a good. It seems like it's a good opening, so I'm going to stick with it for now. Only thing I have to make sure I'm doing is keeping an eye on these probes that are in my base. So you can see we're at 15 here, sending my drone out to go and drop that hatch. And for some reason I'm having a bit of lag issues here, but this should work itself out. And Overlord, unfortunately, scouting in the wrong direction at first, so that's too bad. But it's okay. Always keeping an eye on that probe. He goes and sees that I am expanding. And let's see how he responds. He already has a gateway up. Not making anything out of it right now, though, and he is going to drop a Cybernetics core. So we can assume Warp Gate and possibly some sentries and stalkers coming from him. Let's see, his probe is just waiting there. And this is when I send a drone, just like I attacked him. Like right-clicked on him just so my drone would follow him around so I would know what was going on. Getting the gas here at 15 as well, and then the spawning pool at 15, and then I can focus on droning up a little bit and popping out an Overlord. But right now I'm not doing anything. Do I have the larva? I do have the larva. Why am I not making anything? Oh, I was typing. Oops. Now you can see the drones coming out. And going to be putting some drones in gas there. Grab 4 by accident, but that's no big deal. And yeah, so let's go back to my opponent here, because right now I'm not really doing all that much. He is dropping another gateway, and he is pumping his first zealot out, which is always good to do against Zerg. Those zealots are really good against early Zerglings for sure. Even when they get surrounded, they can still usually kill off at least like 1 or 2 of them. So you can see he is getting his Warp Gate research now, and dropping another gateway. So it's looking like a 3-gate. And yeah, over here second base is done, transferring some drones over, getting 2 queens made out of each base so I can start spitting the larva. Oops, pushed the button by accident. And getting out some 6 Zerglings here for some early defense. And so far everything's pretty standard. I mean, these early games are pretty much basic. They're pretty much the same thing every time, depending on your opening, but when you go 15 hatch, 15 extractor, and 15 pool, it's going to look the same every single time. Now, you'll notice here, getting the metabolic boost and dropping a Roach Warren, which is a little bit of a difference, I would say, especially when going against Zerg and Terran. I don't really make Roaches all that much unless I feel the need to. Getting that larva spitted there, and at this point I still don't even know where his base is. I'm assuming I'm setting my Overlord down here, but I'm not really too worried. I mean, I got the Zerglings here, and you know, whatever he can send at me early, like maybe this probe. Finally, I cast a replay where my opponent actually takes his Naga Watchtower, which is good to see at least. You know, this is the Silver Leagues now, so players are at least not stupid. I mean, they must have done something right to get here. So right now, just continuing to drone up a little bit, taking care of that probe, which left his Naga Watchtower. I don't know why he did that. Trying to get some secondary scouting, I guess, but finding myself a little bit supply cap right now, so I'm going to be pumping out 4 Overlords. And honestly, just right now, focusing on getting just those early Zerglings, maybe a few Roaches, I don't know, we'll see. And yeah, we'll just go from there. We'll get some early defense and just drone up behind it. At least that's what I hope I do. Over here, we actually have a robotics facility pumping out an observer right now, getting all his warp gates into, or all his gateways into warp gates. And one sec. Ah, there you go. You guys heard me sneeze. Okay. Probe going out for something. I don't know. Maybe he's going to prepare for an expansion. No, he's just sending a probe out. See, if I was him, instead of sending the probes, I'd be sending the zealots, because they'll be able to take out any zerglings that may already be at these watchtowers or on the way. But no, he's just sending another probe into my base, and that's going to end up just getting sniped off by these zerglings right here, as we can see. Instantly dead. You didn't get to see anything. Dropping my 4 extractors now, and hopefully filling them up pretty soon. That's been an issue of mine. Sometimes I forget to fill the extractors once they are done, but I didn't know this observer was in my base, so he's getting a good look. He knows roaches are coming. You can see I have a few roaches and then 6 more on the way. This is just for my early defense so that nothing can get up my ramp or do too much damage to my my natural here. So hopefully we'll see some droning up after this once those overlords pop out, which... where are the overlords? Maybe I'm saving up? I don't know. I have so much money right now. What's going on? Let me take a look at what I'm doing right now. I'm looking at overlord. Alright, finally spitting out 13 overlords at once. Now, that's probably overkill, but I don't know. I mean, it hasn't really caused me much problems. At least it gets my money spent. You know, and I'm going to have to make them eventually anyway. That's my thought process on it. And I'm a little concerned that I haven't set out any zerglings towards these watchtowers yet. Hopefully I'll be doing that in the future. Dropping down a spire after the lair's finished, obviously. And where did I put that spire? It's always so hard to find. Where is that spire? Oh, it's right here. Oh, that's an Evo chamber. 2 Evo chambers and a spire at the same time, making sure to spend that money. Pushing one by accident. And right now in my opponent's base, he's getting some immortals, which would be a good response to the roaches. But he's going to need a lot if he's going to contend with the amount of roaches that I may or may not be building. Pretty nice spot for a photon cannon there as well. Just a good little bit of extra DPS for his army. So we're seeing a mix of Stalker, Zealot, and Immortal coming from Cernunnos. A few more Immortals coming out, and he's getting his upgrades there, as am I. Getting the missile upgrade and the carapace for the armor. Still putting all my overlords here, but I've been having some issues getting overlords sniped off in the recent past, so making sure, I just don't want that to happen anymore. And I believe at this point I have more than enough supply. I mean, I'm up to 172 for my max right now, and have a pretty good defense for sure. Even if you were to send this at me right now, that would probably be enough enough to hold off. So hopefully I've been droning up. Let's take a look at the income here. I have 37 and he's got 21, so I'm definitely ahead in the income section of this game. Let's go back to production. Making another queen, which can only mean either I'm looking to... oh, I'm expanding. I missed that. Expanding over here for my 3rd base, which is a good time to do it, especially since I'm very far ahead of him in the supply. If we actually take a look at the army supply right now, I have a bigger army than him and more harvesters. So I'm not really sure what he's been spending his money on, but it hasn't been his units, that's for sure. Getting some more roaches because I'm actually going to start preparing for a bit of a push soon. Let me see, did I get my... okay, I did get my roach speed. I kind of missed it at the time when it came out, but I did get it, so that's going to be essential for pushing out. I mean, you don't need it if you're just defending with it, but if you're going to be attacking, you definitely need roach speed. And I'm actually pumping out a 4th queen here, so I have 4 queens out there right now, so I may be looking to spread some creep, which has been an issue of mine. So I do realize that, and I am trying to work on it. So you can see getting some creep spread over there, and finally coming out with the mutas now. And this has been pretty much my my new build that I'm trying against Protoss, because obviously they've been my toughest matchup. Just roaches doesn't help. The zerglings may help out a little bit. It kind of just distracts his army. And the mutas, I mean, you can never go without mutas. At least I can't. I need those mutas to be able to attack in the back while my ground army is attacking the front. And we can see he's finally going for an expansion right here. My overlord does see that, so that's what's making me think that I got to start moving out soon. Getting a nice little drone transfer over there. And we can take a look at the harvesters. I'm way ahead. I just droned up hard behind that, up to 59 now. And he's still only at 21, and he's expanding. I mean, he's barely even saturated here. He's not even saturated at all. So he should, his issue is droning, or probing, I guess you can call it. And we will go back to the production and see that he is getting his upgrades still going. I'm getting my level 2 armor, my level 2 missile attack for my roaches, and my flyer attacks level 1 for my mutas. And the reasoning why I don't get armor right away is because I just try my best not to even let them get hit. I mean, most of the time they're just going to be in the back. They might take a few shots from some cannons here and there. He does have a robotics bay down, but I don't see any Colossus coming from him, so I wonder if that was just like if he does it just for pretty much nothing. I don't know. Anyways, he's not getting any Colossus right now at the time anyways. Upgrading his shields, I am still getting a missile level 2 upgrade. And did that just finish? That was pretty fast if that just finished. What happened? Oh, it just disappeared for some reason. Alright. Or it's just moving. Anyways, whatever. So you can see I'm starting to get a decent number of mutas here. That's definitely enough right now, but I am getting a few more just for safety and also to spend my money. We should be moving out fairly shortly, I would imagine. He's got an observer right in the base, so he knows what's going on. And I guess that's why he is getting Stargates, which not really sure what his plan is with the Stargate. I mean, I have a good air army right now, although my ground army obviously cannot attack air, so maybe that's something to do with it. He's getting more immortals, which is good because he's seeing how many roaches I really do have. And hopefully, I'm almost maxed out here. I mean, I don't usually like to just wait until I'm maxed out, but against Protoss, I'm a little worried. So just want to make sure I have what I need in order to actually do something. Moving the mutas out now, and I think I'm just getting my hotkeys all set up, which I'm still a little bit slow at. Getting a little better at the spitting of the larva. Let's take a look how long it takes me to go as my army moves out. I don't want to miss anything though, so hurry up. Maybe I'm too focused on my army moving out. Anyways, we'll take a look here. The mutas are still waiting back here. I'll keep an eye on them on the mini-map. And getting ready to do my two-pronged attack that I love so much. He is not really ready for this, although those immortals can definitely do some damage. And a good move here, putting his zealots up front here to take on those zerglings. So here come the mutas. There's a big engagement right here. I decided to go in and take out a couple immortals if I can, because I know those immortals are very good, but I took a little bit too many shots for my liking. So just going to let the roaches do what they do best. He's actually dropping some force fields there, which is pretty nice. But the mutas are still coming into the base, taking out many probes. Let's take a look at the resource loss right now. I've taken out 5 probes. We'll go back to that later and scare them all away. Meanwhile, his army at the front is actually doing a good job holding off. For the most part, he kills off all the roaches, but these mutas are still going to town, and I take out the robotic spade just in case he decides to go for Colossi. I don't know, I just was a little worried about that. And at this point, I probably could have, because Immortals can't shoot up, so I probably could have just taken out these Stalkers, but being a little too careful, I would say. Or did I stay? I don't know. Well, he ends up morphing in more Stalkers, so I think I eventually just try to take out some of these pylons as I make my way out. Make sure to get that, and come on, stop losing mutas. And trying to hide these guys in the corner here, but they keep wanting to attack, so finally I get the whole position on, and they're just going to hang out there while I get some more roaches up and going here. Getting my larva injects. Let's see how my upgrades are doing. Pretty good. I mean, I could go to Hive and get a few more. What am I making out of here? I don't know what that is. Oh, that's the larva. God damn it. Getting the Zerg flyer armor now for the mutas, and right now I'm like, alright, I did a ton of damage. I mean, take a look at the income. I'm 57 to 23, which is just insane. I mean, I can sit here for 10 minutes and I'll have, like, what is that? At least double the amount, more than double the amount of money he ends up making. So, taking a little poke in here with the mutas, making sure that he doesn't still have units there. But I don't want to be losing any mutas at all to 3 Stalkers, so I'm just massing up my roaches. Don't really feel like I have a need for Zerglings right now, because, I mean, I've done so much damage. He's not going to be able to make more units, or make more units to take on my roaches in 1 second. Holy shit, that's twice in one video. Alright, so we right now, taking a 4th base down here. This is another issue I usually have. Once I get to 3 bases, I kind of think that's enough, but I really should get used to taking a 4th and even a 5th. At this point, I can just expand all over the map, and there's no way he can do too much about it. Finally got the Zergling. Those were there a lot earlier. Getting the Zerglings on the Zelnaga Tower so that I can see anything coming. And getting that creep spread, that's actually, I mean, that's probably not too good if you watch pro matches, but that's pretty good for me. And what I like to do is just get the creep spread going towards their base, because obviously it just kind of helps out with vision and stuff like that. So let's go back to production, take a look at my army here. I got a decent amount of roaches. Let's go to the units tab. I got 42 roaches, 22 mutas, and 5 queens and 2 zerglings. Those 2 zerglings will be key. No, they won't. Going back to production, and Muta's still standing here, and he's actually got his like whole army here, and he's moving that observer around, just making sure I don't do anything with those mutas. And dropping an infestation pit only because I was eventually going to go to hive so I can get those better upgrades, but at this point I'm so far ahead. I mean, I'm nearly maxed and he's at 72. Here we see the mutas trying to gather together, and lost a couple there due to all those stalkers, but I also got the intel that they were all there. But not to worry, because we have these mutas coming in, and that's just going to be way too many mutas for him to hold on. And oh my god, I missed the roaches. They killed the Nexus. His army wasn't even there. And look at all those roaches just tearing shit up. And we will go back to the mutas here in a second. Oops, I pushed the wrong button again. Mutas coming in from the back, as they love to do. They definitely like to come in from behind. Taking out that cannon, hopefully, and then just going after that Nexus. Well, these roaches, I was a little preoccupied, I guess, with those mutas. And he actually gets some good force fields there, but it's really not going to be enough, as I have way too many roaches. He's got a Phoenix there that's about to do nothing, and these mutas are just tearing shit up here. And he throws up the GG and leaves the game. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed that. This build seems to be working pretty well. I mean, ever since I got into the Silver League, I've been doing pretty well against Protoss with this build. Obviously, variations of it. I'm not good enough to do the exact same thing every time. Usually, I get sometimes I'll attack a little earlier. Sometimes I forget to build a spire right away. Blah blah, whatever. But so far so good. Although my last game I did end up getting cannoned out, which was a bit embarrassing. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and as always, give me some tips in the comment if you feel like I could be doing something better. Thanks a lot, guys. See you later.